Hi, welcome to Soul TV. My name is Tagge, and this is a yoga for cyclists class. It's kind of a shorter flow, mostly put together, designed to get your body opened up and ready to go out for a ride and really get into the groove. So spend some time really just getting the body to open up and get in a rhythm so you can flow and get on the bike and actually bring your yoga into your bike ride. When you can connect with your breath and connect your body and all of the movement together, you'll get a much more efficient ride, be able to go longer, it'll just be smoother. And really, after some practice learning to connect your yoga on your bicycle, you'll really start to feel a major difference in the way that you ride. One of the ways that I really like to warm up actually is with some Ujjayi breath, which translates to victorious breath. A lot of people call it ocean's breath or something to that sound, or to that effect, because it sounds like an ocean. It has a natural heating quality to it. So we'll start just practicing with a little bit of Ujjayi, get that turned on, and then we'll begin to move a little. So if you've never done Ujjayi before, it's created with this little constriction in the back of your throat. And the easiest way to learn it is actually to pretend like you're fogging up a mirror. So we can just use your hands, pretend that it's a mirror. And just place it right in front of your mouth. Take a big inhale, and with the exhale, really just pretend that you're fogging up this mirror. So that's with the open mouth. And now we're going to try to replicate that, but with a closed mouth, exhaling through the nose. So inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your nose, trying to keep that same constriction. So try that a couple of times, just inhaling through the nose and maybe exhale through the mouth, and then exhale through the nose a couple of times just to kind of get the feeling and get that locked in. And then you want to keep that constriction on both the inhale and the exhale, and you'll be able to kind of hear it and you'll be able to feel it a little bit. So just take a couple of breaths, breathing in and out through the nose, working with that constriction. And once you start to get a feel for that, you can let your hands come to your lap or rest on your knees. And close your eyes. And we'll take a few more moments to just completely connect in with the breath. Again, remembering the Ujjayi. Begin deepening and lengthening your breath, keeping that Ujjayi happening. You can continue to hear that sound. And try to find a little evenness in your breath. The inhale and exhale are about matched. Something that's comfortable but still full. Take the next inhale all the way deep, filling from the bottoms of your lungs all the way to the top like you're filling a glass of water. And as you exhale, empty from the top all the way to the bottom. Once you find that rhythm, really get it locked in and be completely connected with it. The more you can stay with that rhythm, it's going to be your foundation for the movement both in this practice and when you're out riding your bike. The more you can breathe deeply and steadily, the better your body is going to be able to function, and the longer your muscles will be able to go before they get locked up. Getting all of that oxygen in there helps prevent fatigue. Okay, with the next inhale, you can open your eyes and just reach your arms up overhead. Reach up through your fingertips. And as you exhale, take your left hand down to the floor, reaching your right arm up and over your ear. Getting a big side stretch. But keep your right hip working down towards the floor, even as your right fingers work over. And then inhale, come up through the center. And exhale, we'll take it to the other side. So right hand to the floor, left fingers over. But really keep that left hip and seat pressing down so you can get that big side bend, lengthening your left side. Inhale, come up through the center. And exhale, we'll take it to the other side. Inhale to reach. Exhale to get a little more in. And then inhale up through the center. Exhale one more time to this side. Inhale to reach. Exhale to come in. And you can take your gaze up under that top arm, keeping your heart spinning up to the sky a bit. And then inhale, come up through the center. As you exhale, reach forward and just roll right out into all fours. So check your alignment. You want your shoulders right over your wrists, hips pretty much right on top of your knees. We're going to start really connecting the movement with the breath, just with simple vinyasa, cat and cow. So with the inhale, lower the belly, gaze and tailbone tip up. And then exhale, round the spine, tucking the tailbone and the chin, pressing into cat. Again, inhale, lower down, finding your cow. And just start moving with the breath, using the entire exhale to press to cat, and the entire inhale to draw into cow. Just short pauses in between each. So the edges of the breath meet at the extents and the very edges of the posture. Remember to keep that Ujjayi turned on. And then come back to a neutral spine after the next visit to cat. Just going to take some more side stretches. So let your hips press a little off to the right as you bring your gaze around towards your left heel. And then inhale through the center and look back at your right heel. Getting this big C curve in your spine. Move a little more from each side to side. See if you can get a little more space, a little more of that side bend and curve. And then come back to the center. You're going to tuck your toes, and with the exhale, press it back to the first downward dog. So you can keep your knees pretty bendy and pedal your legs out. You can move your hips from side to side as you do so, starting to open up your hamstrings and your IT bands and all of the business in your legs. And then come back to some stillness, pressing your palms into the floor, letting your heels soften down. Then bend your knees and just walk your feet up to meet your hands into a forward fold. Lengthen out, again getting into the hamstrings. Knees can still be bendy, letting the head soften down towards the toes. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift to lengthen your spine. Start getting your core fired up here by drawing your navel into your spine, reaching the crown of the head forward and your tailbone back. Take another couple of breaths. Really firing up all the core, which is not just your belly, it's also all the side muscles and your back muscles. Another inhale. Exhale, fold it in. Bend your knees with the inhale. Come all the way to stand, upward salute. Exhale, take your hands right to your heart. With the inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, right through the center line as you forward fold. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Again, lengthen. And then as you exhale, fold in, step the right foot back, and then the left, coming into a plank. So again, building a little more heat here in the core. You want your quads firm, your core engaged. Gaze a little in front of your fingertips. And if your elbows tend to lock out, try to soften them a little. Draw your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Stay steady with your breath. We're working to all of the muscle groups in the body working together, so it's not just your upper body working here. With the next exhale, press back to a downward facing dog. Step your feet together with the inhale, reach your right leg up high to a three-legged dog, but keep your hips square to the floor. Then with the exhale, step the right foot forward. And then the left will step up to meet it, forward fold. Then inhale, come all the way to stand, upward salute. Exhale, take your hands to the heart. And inhale, circle your arms. With the exhale, all the way through the center line, forward fold. We try to move slowly and smoothly. Inhale, halfway lifts. Stay connected with your breath as you exhale, fold. Left foot steps back, and then the right. Again, right into a plank. Build a little more heat. The more you learn in this static posture to use all of your muscle groups together, it'll actually translate onto your bike so you're not using just your legs. You'll notice a lot of other muscle groups will come in. Exhale, shift it back, downward dog. Step your feet together. The inhale, left leg to the sky. Really press your left heel back. Keep the toes pointing towards the floor. That'll help keep your hips square. Use the exhale, bend the knee. Walk or step the foot forward. Pause in a low lunge. Right foot comes to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, upward salute. Exhale, hands right into the heart. We're going to take a couple of breaths in Utkatasana. So feet are together, a little space between the heels. So you want the outside edges of your feet about parallel. Inhale, take your arms overhead. And bend your knees, bring the hands right into your heart. Coming into Utkatasana. Keep your core engaged. It's a neutral spine. Knees are actually hugging together, working your inner muscles, the adductors. Keep the legs together. And keep your heart lifted. Shoulders gently drawing back and down. But there's a balance here with the heart lifted so you're not making this big curve in your back. You want to have a neutral spine. Get another breath here, getting the legs a little warm. Inhale, upward salute as you straighten the legs. Exhale, fold it right in. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right leg back. Lower the right knee. Take the hands right to the left knee. It's for an Anjaneyasana. We're opening up the right hip flexors here as the hips work down, but also opening the chest as the shoulders roll back and the heart lifts. Let the shoulders soften down away from your ears. More inhale, and as you exhale, take your hands to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here, grounding through your hands. Keep your hands really engaged on the mat. Knees might still be bent. With the exhale, bend your knees, slowly lowering them to the floor as you shift forward. Your heart will come to the floor right between your hands and your chin for Ashtanga Namaskar. Knees, chest, and chin. Notice my hips are still up, getting a back bend. Inhale, slide through to a little cobra. Low ribs are on the floor. Chest and shoulders are rolled up. The gaze is down and a little forward, so I'm reaching forward with the crown of my head. Got length in the back of my neck. One more inhale. Exhale, press it back to child's pose. Hips to your heels. Just soften in, reconnect with the breath for a moment. See if you lost that Ujjayi. Then inhale. Come back up through all fours. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. With the exhale, bend the knee and step it forward. Left leg comes to meet the right. Forward fold. Bend your knees, you inhale, come all the way to stand, upward salute. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale, bend the knees, hands right into the heart, Utkatasana. Get steady in your breath, but feel some lift. So your core is engaged and you're actually lifting up. So your legs aren't doing all of the work here. The more you can do that, the lighter you'll be in your saddle. Checking your balance so you're equal between your heels and toes. So you can shift forward and back. Find that balance point, and then come to steadiness. Another inhale. Reach your arms to the sky. As you exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, come up, halfway lift. Exhale and fold it in.
Left leg's going to step back and lower that knee. And coming right back to Anjaneyasana with the hand on the right knee. Hips are working down again, getting to the left hip flexors now. Keep the right knee right on top of the ankle, perhaps a little behind. You let the shoulders roll back and open. Gaze tip up for 3 breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, take the hands to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. Again, 3 more steady breaths here. Let your hips work up. Heart softens back towards the knees. But keep your arms, shoulders, and hands completely engaged. Now the inhale, shift forward to a plank. With the exhale, slowly lower all the way to your belly. Keep your elbows tucked into your sides. Inhale, roll up to a little cobra. Tops of your feet press into the mat. Your elbows are working back towards your ribs and then to your hips. You reach the crown of your head forward, elongating your spine. Exhale, fold, let one of you rest on the mat. Inhale, peel it back up to the cobra. This time maybe lift your hands, working your back body. Tops of the feet press into the floor. Exhale, release. You can let the other ear rest on the mat. Give your hips a little shake from side to side. And then tuck your toes. And then inhale here. Fire up your quads and your core. Exhale, press straight up to a plank. And pause. Take an inhale. Exhale is downward dog. Step your feet together, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot comes up between the hands. And then right foot meets the left, forward fold. Put a bend in your knees, inhale all the way to stand. Upward salutes. Exhale, hands to the heart. Check back in with your breath. Have your hands at the heart in Tadasana or down by your sides. Samastiti. Close your eyes and just reconnect in with your body. Deepen the breath. Let it become steady. Check in with how you're standing. If all your weight's on the outside edge of your feet, or on the inside, heels and toes. Let's get that balance. Then we'll move through that flow one more time. This time taking a little bit more quickly, really connecting the movement and the breath. Getting the body open, just kind of in this rhythm, so that when you get on your bike, you're open and you're rhythmic and you can just kind of flow with your body and your breath together. So the inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands through the center line, forward fold. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Stay steady with your breath. Right leg reaches back. Lower the knee. Inhale, arms to the sky for Anjaneyasana. Again, hips work down as your heart lifts. Let your shoulders soften down away from your ears. Another inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes, step it back. Downward facing dog. And take 2 steady breaths here. And then inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest between your hands, and your chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide through to a cobra. Low ribs still on the floor. Exhale, soften down. This time, slide your hands back towards your low ribs. Inhale, press up to a slightly higher cobra. But remember, your gaze is down and a little forward, so you're lengthening through the crown of your head. Exhale, release. Press it back to a child's pose. And then make your way to a downward facing dog. Step your feet together. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step a foot forward between your hands. Low lunge. This time, left heel seals to the floor. Inhale, open it all the way up to warrior 2. Arms parallel to the floor, gaze is soft over your front fingers. Right knee stacks on right ankle. Soften your shoulders, but stay active in the legs. Inhale, tip it back, peaceful, right fingers to the sky, opening your right side body. Exhale, elbow to knee for side angle, or perhaps fingers to the floor. But keep your whole left side spinning up and open. So if you're down here, but you're collapsed, take it back up halfway so you can stay open. Inhale, take it back to warrior two, and then to a high lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, step it forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees as you inhale, come all the way to stand. Put your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's pause for a moment. Inhale, reach your fingers to the sky. Lift your gaze and lift your heart. Maybe take a gentle back bend as your fingers reach up and back and your gaze follows. And then come back to the center. Take your right hand around the left wrist. Inhale, reach up, and then over for a gentle side bend. Again, gaze can come up underneath that top arm. Left foot presses into the mat. Inhale, come up through the center. Switch hands, reach up, and then over. So your right hip is drawing down as your right hips work, or ribs work up and away. Good. Inhale, come up through the center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. This time the left leg's going to step back. Lower the knee to the floor. Inhale, arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Gaze can tip up. And again, maybe a gentle back bend as your fingers reach up and back. But if it's crunchy in your low back, you really want to make sure that you're lifting up, lengthening your sides, and then a little back. Hips are still working down. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step it back into a downward dog. And with the inhale, shift it forward to a plank. Slow exhale all the way to your belly. And inhale up to a cobra. You can keep it low with your low ribs on the floor, or lift it up a little higher. But let your shoulders draw down away from your ears. Tops of your feet press into the mat. Exhale back, child's pose. Inhale to all fours. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Step the feet together. Inhale, left leg to the sky. With the exhale, left foot comes forward between the hands. Right heel to the ground. Inhale, open it all the way up to a warrior two. And arms parallel to the floor. And your hips, chest, and shoulders are working to the side of your mat, but your gaze is forward. Tip your left palm up, inhale back, peaceful warrior. We open that left side body. Exhale, side angle, elbow to knee, or fingers down, but remember, really keep it open and expansive. Press down through the outside edge of your right foot. Inhale, warrior two. Pivot up to your high lunge. Take a breath, and then exhale. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a moment, hands to opposite elbows. Just hang out and ragdoll. Shake your head out, yes or no. Letting your head soften, the spine lengthen. Crown of the head reaching towards the floor. Release your hands, put a little bend in your knees. Inhale, all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Step your feet out about mat width apart, so a little wider than your hips.
And put a bend in your knees. We're going to come down to a squat. Toes can point out a little, but you don't want to be all the way duck foot. Working towards parallel. Heels working down towards the floor. Let your tailbone root down as you lift your heart, elongating your spine. Shoulders opening back. Spend so much on the time, or so much of time on the bike, hunched down and in like this. You've got to counter this and learn to open your chest and roll your shoulders back. Keep your spine lengthening. Good, and then take your hands to the floor. Just come to sit on your knees with your toes tucked like this, sitting on your heels. And so your feet want to fly apart often like this, but draw your heels together, keeping the toes tucked. Hands can be on your thighs or at your heart. This is called broken toe pose. This can be excruciating after even just a couple of seconds, so if it is, you can come out to the tops of feet, but then try to come back in. This is really, really good for the bottoms of your feet and for your ankles. So we'll take a few more breaths. Letting the breath slow down, becoming natural. Softening your face. Okay, you can untuck your toes, cross your ankles, and sit back so you can stretch your legs. Coming into Dandasana, or staff pose. Hands right down by your hips. As you lift your chest, flex your feet. Again, roll your shoulders down and back. And exhale, walk your hands forward. Coming into a forward bend, reaching your heart forward towards your toes. And try to let your shoulders continue softening down, keeping your spine long. And then inhale, come back up. Place your hands behind your hips, fingers pointing towards your toes. With the inhale, you're going to lift your hips as the soles of your feet work down towards the floor to an upward facing plank. Take another inhale, exhale, lower it down. Come back to Dandasana for a moment. Steady your breath. And now if you are using this as a pre-ride class or a pre-ride warm-up, then I would suggest finishing with a seated meditation rather than softening out into Shavasana. However, if this is not pre-ride, then you could take a Shavasana. So use the next couple of breaths to find your way either to a comfortable seat or to stretch out onto your back, softening into the final posture for this practice. Whichever finishing shape you choose, let your eyes close softly. Soften into your breath. Let the breath become light, but stay engaged with it. Every time your attention wanders, just notice what's happening and gently guide it back into the breath. Allow yourself to feel the natural rhythm that's happening inside of the body, the flow. Connect with that deeply, remaining consciously aware of it, allowing that to translate out into the rest of your life, onto the bicycle, than anything else. If you're in Shavasana, take the next couple of breaths to gently make your way back to a seat. And slide your hands right up into your heart, sealing in the practice. Bowing your head in, honoring yourself, your physical body, your spiritual body, and your mental body. Slide your hands right up into the third eye seats, right between your eyebrows, honoring also the intuition. Namaste.